up, everybody? Welcome back to the Oak Tree Football channel, and welcome to another 2020 college football schedule breakdown and record prediction video. Today, I'm going to be doing the Memphis Tigers. The Memphis Tigers were very, very good last year. They won the American Athletic, and they even finished 17th place in the top 25. But they are losing head coach Mike Norvell, who is a fantastic head coach, especially when it comes to offense. Memphis was consistently scoring about 30, 40 points a week. So the loss of him is really going to hurt. Their quarterback is Brady White. He was very good last year. I believe he threw over 30 touchdown passes. And the running back, Kenny Gainwell, was also great last year. He should have another great year this season. And then the wide receiver, DeMonte Cox, he had over 1,000 receiving yards last year. So they have a very talented offense. All those guys are coming back. And they have some good pieces on the defense as well. So even though they are losing Mike Norvell, they should still be a good team. But in my opinion, it will be a step back for Memphis. But let's get into it, looking at their schedule. They were 12-2 last year, like I said, or I didn't say that, but I said they were good. And they had the 68th best recruiting class in the country. Week 1, they started off with a home game against Arkansas State. I really don't see them having much of a problem in this game. Arkansas State just isn't that good of a team, in my opinion. And they should have no problem, especially because they are at home. Week 2, this is going to be a tough one, on the road at Purdue. Purdue is a team that I think is definitely going to improve this season. They were not great last year, but I think they will get better this year, at least make it to a bowl game. So this is going to be a tough one for Memphis, in my opinion. And it really could go either way, because you can make an argument that both teams are the better team. But at the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards Purdue because Purdue's at home. If this was a home game for Memphis, I think they'd have a good shot at it. But just being on the road, it's not great. So at the moment, I think I'm going to pick Purdue in this one, but I would not be surprised if Memphis gets the win there. Week 3, they play Houston. Houston is a team that is kind of a sneaky team in the American Athletic. They could surprise someone like Memphis this season. I wouldn't be surprised. But I kind of feel like they won't really surprise Memphis this year. Houston is a good team, but Memphis is at home for this game, and I really don't see them struggling too much here. I think there should be a win there, especially because they're at home. Week 4, they play UTSA. They should have no problem here. UTSA just isn't that good of a football team. That should be a win, even though they're on the road. Week 5, they have another in-conference game at SMU. Now, this is going to be a tough one because SMU is a pretty good team. I expect a pretty good season from SMU this year, and it's a road game for Memphis, which is going to be tough, and especially earlier in the year when they haven't really made up for the loss of Mike Norvell yet, or they haven't really figured it out, in my opinion, yet, especially because they haven't had to buy a week where they can have some more time to figure it out. This is going to be a tough one. On the road at SMU, and I'm going to take SMU in this one. SMU is a team I expect to be pretty good this year, and just because Memphis is on the road, I think they're going to struggle, so I'm going to take SMU there. But that could be a win. Week 6, they have a bye, and this is a very good place bye, in my opinion. It doesn't split the season in half. It has 5 games on the first part and 7 on the second. But it is coming off a tough game at SMU, and it's going into a tough game against UCF. They are at home for this game against UCF, which is huge for them. UCF is one of the more interesting teams in the American Athletic. Probably be a good team again, but they're very interesting because they have an interesting quarterback situation. Last year, Dillon Gabriel, he was in his first season, his freshman year, and he was fantastic. But 2 years ago, they had Mackenzie Milton, who was very good. He got injured and missed the season. But there's a chance he comes back this year. So there's a 50-50 chance he comes back. So it's really going to be interesting to see which of those two quarterbacks starts and which one plays, if they play well or not. I think Dillon Gabriel, if he plays, I think he will play well. If Mackenzie Milton's more of a question mark because I think he could play well, but also I think he could struggle. So UCF is just a very interesting team to me. In this game, at the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards Memphis, actually, which might surprise some people. But Memphis is still a very talented football team. They're coming off a bye week, and they'll probably have more things figured out at this point in the year than they will earlier in the season. And they're at home for this game, which is really going to help them out. So without a doubt, UCF could win this game. UCF is just a very talented football team, but so is Memphis. Memphis is at home. Memphis is coming off a bye. I feel that Memphis has a good shot at winning this one. Like I said, would not be surprised if UCF wins. They're that talented. They're so talented. What a great football team. But at the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards Memphis. Week 8, they play Temple. Temple will be okay this year, in my opinion. Nothing special, but nothing bad either. But I really don't see Memphis having too much trouble in this game, just because they're at home, and Temple is just going to be about average this season, in my opinion. Week 9, this is going to be a tough one. On the road against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's arguably the best team in the American Athletic. The only other one that I think you could make a fair argument for would probably be UCF. And I did give them the win at UCF, but I'm not going to give them a win against Cincinnati. They're on the road in this game, and Cincinnati is just a very good team. On Halloween, this game is these teams met twice last year. Memphis won both times, once in the regular season, in the final week of the regular season, and once in the conference championship game. But I think this year, Cincinnati will win. Cincinnati's the home team. Cincinnati's just such a good team, in my opinion, and I'm going to take Cincinnati in this one. The Tigers could get a win here, but I feel that Cincinnati and the Bearcats are too good for Memphis. Week 10, they play USF, and I don't see them having too much trouble because they're at home, and USF just isn't that good of a football team anymore. 2 years ago, they were really good. Last year they just weren't. They went 4-8, and they probably won't be that good again this year. They haven't really done anything to prove that they will be good this year. So I'm going to take the Tigers on a pretty easy win here at home. And Week 11 is a tough one. It's against Navy, on the road against Navy. Navy is going to be a good team this year. Could potentially be in the top 25. This is going to be a tough one for Memphis. They have a lot of tough road games at Cincinnati, at Purdue, at SMU, and now at Navy. This is a game that they could win. I really do think they could win. Navy is also a very talented team, but so is Memphis. They probably have more pieces figured out at this point in the year. But I think I'm going to take Navy just because Navy is at home. I feel like whoever is at home in this game would probably win. That's just how it is because both teams are pretty similar on talent levels. So it's just going to be whoever's at home, in my opinion, and whoever would win that game would be at home. And Navy is the home team for this one. So I'm going to take Navy here. It could be a win for Memphis, but I just think that Navy is about average or about as good as Memphis. But with Navy being at home, I'm picking Navy. Week 12, they should have no problem playing UT Martin. That's an easy win, in my opinion, because they're at home. And then Week 13, they'll play Tulane. Tulane won't be anything special this year. They are on the road for this one, so maybe there'll be some struggles. But I do think Memphis should get the win fairly easily. So now, as I always do, I'll go through every game once again. I'll give my prediction for who I think will win. Week 1, Arkansas State. That's an easy win, in my opinion. Week 2, at Purdue. I'm going to have them losing this one. I just think that Purdue's a very good team, so I'm going to take Purdue. I'm going to take them against Houston and UTSA, but I think they'll lose again to SMU. Then they have their bye. I do think they will be UCF. This is a game that could go either way, but at the moment, I'm going to pick the Tigers. Will not be surprised if UCF wins, though. Week 8, Temple, I have them winning there. Week 9, at Cincinnati, I think that's a loss. 10, USF, I think that's a win. 11, against Navy, I think that's a loss. UT Martin's a win, and Tulane is a win to give them a record of 8-4 on the year. So I think they would be pretty happy with this. I mean, it's the first season with a new head coach. Sure, they are bringing a lot of talent back, but in the first season, this would be a pretty good record. They're just kind of unlucky with their road games. They're lucky to have UCF at home, but the other ones, they could beat SMU if that's a home game. They could probably beat Purdue if that's a home game, and they could probably beat Navy if that's a home game. Maybe they could even beat Cincinnati if it's a home game. So it's just kind of tough with the road games they have, and best case for me would probably be 10-2. I think they will lose 2 games. One of them will be against Cincinnati, and then the other will probably be against either Purdue, SMU, or probably against Purdue or SMU, in my opinion. And then worst case, probably 6-6, maybe even worse than that. They would lose the 4 games I had them losing, of course, and then probably UCF and I think just 6-6 would be worst case scenario for them this season. But best case probably 10-2. But I think it will be a pretty successful season for them in the first year with the new head coach. They have a lot of talent on offense, and I think that we will see a lot of that this year. Brady White, I think, can be great. Kenny Gainwell can be great again, and same with DeMonte Coxey. So it should be a very good offense again this year. Maybe not as good as they were with Mike Norvell, but I think it will be a good season for the Tigers this season. So these are my thoughts on the Memphis Tigers for the 2020 season. What are your guys' thoughts? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you are new around here, feel free to subscribe for more daily NFL and college football content. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.